tura. Ayé jíjẹ o, kì í ṣàjẹjù lọ́fẹ́. Ayé kùs bèbí, mo fẹ́ ṣe tura. Jùjú bèbí, sóun lókun ṣe tura. Yíyí kárò lómi o, mo fẹ́ ṣe tura. Bá mi sọ fún bèbí o, mo fẹ́ ṣe tura. Jùjú bèbí, sóun lókun ṣe tura.
Welcome to our program here on African Heritage Television, and my name is Rosemary Osho. With me today is Mr. Tebitope Amusho.
Good morning.
Good morning, and happy holidays to our viewers out there. We're wrapping up the end of the year, 2011, and 2012 is just a couple of days away. Is it even up to 2 days? I don't think it's up to 2 days. But
Less
it's
than
almost
48 hours.
Less than 48 hours. It's almost here. And
But I don't want to be here.
why? Why not?
Man, I want to enjoy the holiday. Look everywhere. Holiday festival is out there. I want to enjoy with them. I don't stay on the camera.
I know that's real, but you know, that's the American way. We've got to work.
Yeah.
People are still celebrating in Nigeria.
Yeah. Can you beat that? They're going to give them Monday holiday, Tuesday holiday. The same way they got it during the Christmas.
Right, right.
And there's like this, you want to be home.
I want to be home, I know. There's like, oh my goodness, I love
Eating a bar and okra.
I love to spend Christmas at home. Then you get to, you know, hang out with family members, talk about old times, growing up,
You can hang out with them on Facebook.
No, it's not the same, seriously. It's not the same.
On Twitter.
My sister just called me, she said, look, quit trying to talk to me on Facebook, pick up your phone and give me a call. I was like, yes ma'am. Unfortunately, that's what technology is doing to us.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's helping though. I mean, it's a far departure of what it used to be 10, 15 years ago.
Right. When
you have to struggle to get even a hello across the ocean. When your folks have to go to Nitel to make phone calls, and you can't even see their pictures or their image or whatever they look like recently and stuff like that. Technology, we have to thank technology.
Yes, yes.
Rosemary, what happened through the end? Throughout the 2011 year? Interesting development. Can we not just recap everything that we have gone through as a nation, as a member of the human race? Because if we're talking as a nation,
right.
Which one of the nation are we talking about? Nigeria or United States?
Both.
Okay.
Yes.
Or the world in general.
Yeah,
Let's just talk about the world in general.
But Africa and the rest of the world.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's what we're about.
Or the rest of the world and Africa.
No, Africa and the rest of the world.
Okay. Or Nigeria and Africa.
Okay, Nigeria, Africa, and the rest of the world.
Okay.
That's what we are about.
First Nigeria, then Africa, then the rest of the world.
There you go.
Including America?
You're getting it. Of course. You are getting it.
Try.
It's always
What do you have for us?
You know.
I don't.
2011, what can I say, was a very eventful year. A lot happened in 2011, but I'm excited about 2012. As time goes on, we're going to talk about the issues and some of the memorable events that happened in 2011 period. We saw a lot of beautiful things happen. We witnessed the royal wedding. That was a nice one. There was the healthcare issue with Obama and all the drama that it erupted.
And of course, Africa and the rest of the world.
We are talking about it all. We're going to get there.
I thought we
You're going to let me finish?
Oh, come on.
Come on
Africa
now.
and the rest of the world.
Let me
now
finish.
It's the rest of the world and Africa.
Let me finish. And of course, we also had some moments that, like, the haha moments. We had moments that were like, we were glued to TV and just in shock. Of course, one of my biggest moments was the assassination of, or the killing of Osama bin Laden. Because for more than 10 years, this man was, it seemed like he was invisible. We couldn't reach him, and he's in his hiding, destroying and creating, I mean, working on his terrorist attack on different nations. We all saw the devastation that it caused with the 9/11. We lost, what, close to 4,000 or more of people were, and a lot of them were not even accounted for. So it was a joy, and to see the entire world celebrate his killing was something that was that really gladdened my heart, because the way I look at it, he would never have the chance to do it to anybody or any nation in the world again. What we experienced in 9/11, there are people who are still, you know, we still haven't gotten over it, because either that they lost a loved one, a friend, a colleague. I mean, just a whole lot of people from, it wasn't just Americans. We had Africans, we had Europeans, we had Asians, everybody, Indians, that worked at World Trade Center, Pentagon, as well as the plane that crashed in Philadelphia. So that was a big blow to America. And I think, this is my own opinion, I don't really believe that we have recovered from 9/11. So to see him get killed by the naval SEAL, it was a joy. It was a joy. So that's one of the very things that
really stand out. Well, to me, the killing of Muhammad Gaddafi was something that was not expected.
Right, right.
And it depends on where you belong to in the killing of Gaddafi.
Absolutely.
If my back country, Nigeria, has done half of what Gaddafi has done with petrochemical money in his country, nobody will be, well, maybe a whole lot of us will not be here.
Right.
But having said that, it was a failed policy for anybody to have, to even want to stay for more than 8 years ruling any country. Talk less of staying for 41 years.
That was way too much.
Whatever his achievements are, he just messed it up by his sit-tight attitude. Even when the whole world, or his world was, the world was capsizing against him, even when he was being immersed into, boxed into a corner, he still wanted to stay.
Right.
I mean, when you fight and run, you live to fight another time.
Absolutely.
People like Hussein Mubarak are still living because they are smart enough to step down.
Exactly.
Even though it was too late for them too, but at least they step aside, like our own IBB brother. People like Ben Ali in Tunisia, he stepped aside. And even the man in Ali in Yemen now is talking about stepping down and coming to live in America. Those are the things that you ought to do. And you watch the end of Syria now, when people's anger has started, you know, emanating, when people have started to say one thing: if they want you to live, it is not your father's property. Rule the country is a privilege, it's not a right. It has never been a right. It is a privilege. When they ask you to leave, please leave. Right. Or else you're going to end up like Brother Gaddafi.
Exactly.
Whatever he has done, or whoever might have had a hand in the way he was removed. I mean, we cannot completely exonerate the America, British, and France in the way he was removed and he was eventually killed. Probably just because of their own selfish need. They want to see the price of petrol go down and stuff like that. We cannot completely exonerate America, British, and France. But Gaddafi gave them the tool to work against him. You could have started arranging for a political party or a multi-party system 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Exactly.
You don't have to wait to die like that.
And talking about that, you know, you could have groomed somebody
It was
Groom
a
for 41
failed
years?
policy for you not to be able to groom your successor within 8 years. And it just brings me back to, or it takes me back to Nigeria,
Right.
where Obasanjo stayed on the throne for 8 years, and all he can give Nigeria was a sick person to succeed him. Knowing fully well that this man was very sick and had a terminal disease, he put the man there. He forced the man on us because he forced the man on Nigeria because Nigeria would not allow him to stay long,
Right.
or end up like Gaddafi.
Right.
Now, if he has the benefit of insight, he needs to thank Nigeria for pushing him out. He would have been done like Gaddafi too.
Exactly.
So, and that is, we now see what is happening in Nigeria. You voted for somebody, the person did not even stay for 4 years. Now the successor has started, having problems. Of course, the zoning system of the PDP, the so-called largest party in Africa, the zoning system would have been to put another northerner there because it was northern turn to rule Nigeria.
And they really didn't have.
They did not do that. They did not have their own 8 years. They had about 2.5 years. They did not do that. We brought another southerner and see what Boko Haram has been doing now. I'm not saying that Boko Haram is right. That is not what I'm saying.
Right.
But there is a twist. Boko Haram is not a wholly religion affair. The problem with Nigeria is not simple terrorism. Some people are aggrieved that we do not have a northerner there after about 12, 13, 14 years that we were back to democratic rules since 1999.
Right.
Northerners has been there for just 2 years, irrespective of the fact that Northerners has been dominating the landmark for a very long time. But you know what? When you have a democratic arrangement, you need to follow the arrangement to the letter.
Right.
Politicians are not, they were never trustworthy. And that was why people do not really respect them. Their yes means something. 1 + 1 in politics does not equals to 2.
Exactly.
1 + 1 in politics might be 10. They'll just tell you, there are 2 numbers.
Wow.
So, Nigerian problem now is even much more than the touted religious problem. This is not quote and unquote religion problem. A whole lot of people are just tired. They were just tired. There's no job, there's no infrastructure, there's nothing. Security is zero.
That is so true. But then again, Boko Haram is not the answer because what they are succeeding in doing is
they are making the question.
I know they're not making us look like we are this terrorist nation.
No, I think what they want to do is they want to make Nigeria ungovernable for the president of the country, for the current president, Jonathan Goodluck, who I call gridlock anyway, because the man has not done anything for the country, even before the advent of Boko Haram. The man was too passive. I met him, I saw him, and he just does not strike me as somebody who is decisive in taking action. We do not want to vote for a brute. We don't want you to be a brute, but you have to be decisive in taking action. You have to do anything to secure your country. It was done here under President Clinton when some local terrorists were terrorizing people in California, the Quraysh people. The FBI moved in and they firebombed themselves, and Clinton was like, okay, so be it, you want to kill yourself, go ahead and kill yourself. You do anything to secure the country. Anybody, you step on any toe to secure the country. What does democracy teach us? Democracy teaches that we have to look for the good of the generality of the people. If you have to trample on the right of one person to satisfy the generality of the people, you have to do it if the person is becoming a menace to the rest of the people.
Right. You're talking about democracy in the Western world. I'm telling you because it's supposed to be anywhere, but unfortunately it's not like that.
Every one of them that are ruling us, where do they school? Where are we tutoring our own democracy after? What country? We still look to the rest of the world. If we want to practice our own form of democracy, good for you. Let's come up with our own brand of democracy.
Right.
We cannot be Democrats of convenience.
Exactly.
We cannot just point to democracy when it suits us and say, okay, we have to follow our own culture when it suits us. So that is not, it's not even an option.
And then our president travels to the UN, meets with all these other presidents, see how things are being done in the Western world. What does he take home?
Nothing. Nothing.
That is disturbing.
Nothing.
You spend all this money to bring, what, 120 something people, your entourage, to sleep in what? What is
the
that?
Ritz Hotel.
The Ritz Hotel.
$4,500 per night.
Is close to $5,000, and you don't take anything home from this UN summit and all of that. It's very sad. It's very sad.
The rest of Africa.
I'm totally done with President Goodluck.
Oh, you are part of his entourage. Let's vote in good luck. Let's vote in good luck.
Yeah, I did. I wanted us to give him a chance, but hey. If I could take that back now, I will. Seriously.
Well, there is an election in Egypt now. Do you know that?
Oh.
And the Muslim two parties are running away with victory.
With victory, yeah.
And
Right.
both of them are Islamic parties.
Oh.
One is hardcore Islamic party, the other one is moderate Islamic party.
Right, right.
And you know what? My own thing is you cannot teach anybody how to rule themselves. If the people of the country want to vote for Islamic party, they are free to do.
So
That's what democracy is all about.
Yeah.
Election. In as much as other people have not been disenfranchised, if that is what they want, and that is what they got to do.
Right.
Military option is becoming an aberration. I saw the way an Egyptian lady was exposed. She was dragged on the floor because she was protesting against the military. Those are the things, those are the images that you see back in Nigeria and other African countries.
Right.
The image is the one that is giving Egyptians generally bad image now, because those are the things that is being pumped out by the Western televisions and stuff like that, and Al Jazeera too. Not only Western television now, Al Jazeera is doing the same thing too. And this is just bad for us. Whatever we do in Africa now, we have to remember that before within hours it's going to be in the open, and the rest of the world is going to see it. No hidden place for any despot anymore.
Right.
And I was just thinking about Syria's Assad, President Assad of Syria. If care is not taken, the man is going to end up like both Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi. And he's a young chap of about 40-something years. He needs to quit now. The way the country is going, the way Syria is going now, is going to be the way Libya or Tunisia or Egypt has gone, even Yemen. So,
I hope somebody tells them that, because it seems like most of these African leaders never know when to quit.
Well, and the Arab leaders too,
yes,
because
as well.
This is a bad year for Arabs. For the Arabs, I can tell you that.
Right.
This is a bad year for the Arabs. But we need to see something like this in the Sub-Sahara too, in West Africa, East Africa, and probably South Africa too. We have so many dead wood as leaders that cannot lead. I'm talking in terms of Nigerian leader.
Right.
Nigerian leader cannot lead, is being led. We do not vote for somebody that will be led by, remotely led by other people.
Because
the
that's
guy
exactly
has to be decisive, or he gotta get out.
That's exactly what's happening.
And I'm beginning to think, because a whole lot of things were being sent into my box, and somebody was telling me emphatically, and the person that sent this, his voice is always, when he writes, I listen, because he has predicted a lot of things,
right,
and they come to pass. He told me that President Goodluck might be the last president of Nigeria. He said his presidency might be a transitional presidency.
What does that mean?
Meaning that he's going to be the last president of a nation named Nigeria.
You think
meaning that after him, there will be no more Nigeria. There might be 3 different countries. Just the same way Soviet Union.
That would be news because, you know, we wrote something about that.
Yes, but this man is coming up with facts and figures. He even told me that President Jonathan received a mandate from the world leaders to go and make sure that the country divided into three.
Wow.
And you remember the investigation we did for about 6 weeks here.
Right.
He is pointing towards the same thing.
Same direction.
Americans have said it. In 2015, Nigeria will be divided into 3 countries.
That's pretty close.
And it looks more like if President Jonathan is playing that the card that was dealt to him.
Wow.
And one of the things that this man said, and this man is not even from the north, he's not from the southwest, he's from the southeast.
Wow.
He said President Goodluck has been mandated to do certain things. One, make sure that the southeast and south go with their oil. Because the rest of Nigeria is just milking the cow. It's just killing the cow that is producing the milk. So, it seems like if President Goodluck is just saying, okay, Boko Haram is bombing in the north, okay, let them finish with their whatever they are doing until they take the fight to Abuja. He was shaken up when they bombed the United Nations building. Why? With nobody supporting the Boko Haram people. I think they are terrorist group.
Of course.
Whoever can kill anybody for any reason, no killer has to be allowed to go scot-free. No killer. I don't care the reason. I don't care about your grievances.
Right.
You cannot kill somebody else.
You don't
period.
have the right to take anyone's life.
You cannot take anybody's life.
Unfortunately, that's all we read about in Africa.
Having said that, I was told that Boko Haram did that in Abuja because they felt that the Western world was in the know-how of what Jonathan was doing and is anti the rest of the country. And if you are looking at it very carefully, Boko Haram did not go to Southwest. Because they kind of feel that both North and Southwest are going to get the same kind of change as soon as the Southeast and South are ready to move.
Right.
This was a long shot theory that people do not believe. But there is another angle to that story which we have investigated and we found out to be true. Every direction is leading to Nigeria going the Soviet Union way. And it's very, very scary to us because if there's a problem in Nigeria, 167 million people,
who's going to tell who's going to accommodate us?
country will accommodate that kind of population?
I don't know.
We knew what happened to 4 million, 5 million Liberians. It was a big problem to accommodate 4 million Liberians in Africa.
Let alone 167
million. So we're just praying, and we're just praying, and we're just praying that God intervene and things are become right for the country.
Right, we pray so. We do pray so. And let's moving forward from Boko Haram. What's going on in Sudan now with the newest nation? 2011 brought in the new nation in Sudan. How are they doing? What do you know about them?
Well, South Sudan and Northern Sudan, it's just like what was happening in Nigeria too.
Right.
There was agitation about the Christian South and the Muslim North.
Of course.
And the Muslim North has been dominating the sphere for a while, and the Christian really want to go their own way. There was a lot of deaths, killings and stuff like that in the Darfur killing and stuff like that. And eventually common sense was able to prevail.
Right.
These are the things you should have done without even going to war.
Exactly.
Because no matter what you do, you will still end up settling your differences.
Communication, that's all it needs.
On a conference table.
Right.
Why don't you just exercise that option first?
And
do you really have to be, when they say black people are stupid, do you really have to prove that you are stupid for the rest of the most stupid people to think you are really stupid?
That's funny. That's funny.
Come on, common sense.
Right.
Common sense. You're still coming back to the to the same issue you left untouched. You are doing the first thing last and the last thing first.
Exactly. There is nothing as good as sitting on the table and dialogue about issues and arriving at some kind of.
I think every universities in the third world country should teach dialogue, make dialogue a curriculum. So I'm serious. Right. Even make it an important, important subject that everybody needs to study.
Right.
Even it can help between husband and wife, between children and parents. You can never. People are being paid just to settle rifts. So, I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand. In Africa, you're going to have somebody who wants to sit on the same throne for 500 years. In Africa, you want somebody, a president who will want to live and put his kids there. In Africa, you'll see a president who want to live and put his wife there. Or who really want to put his wife in charge of affairs and his family and everything. What is wrong with us?
It's about keeping it in the family.
What is wrong with us?
It's something we have to work on.
Well, South Sudan is trying to, let me go back to your question.
Right,
South Sudan is trying to pick themselves up, but there's still pockets of problems. I mean, they have to depend on the North Sudan for their oil and some of the infrastructures and stuff. But,
But give and take, they're still standing and they're moving on slowly.
And they are a young country, less than 1 year, and there will be challenges. But
of course.
Well, if you want to stay alone, you have to be able to brace up for the challenges.
That is so true. Like I said before, for me, 2011 brought a lot of different moments. There were the surprises, there were the times that made us cry, there were the times that it was just ha-ha moment.
Tell me one event that made you cry.
Oh my God, the earthquake in Japan, the tsunami.
Oh, that
brought tears to my eyes.
That was bad.
More than 15,000 people confirmed dead. More than 13 were injured, and another 4,000
Natural disaster is something that we cannot really control.
Yeah, we're missing, yeah. So it was like, wow. I mean, one of the worst of its kind in what? Since the 1900s. It was awful.
Very close to the tsunami issue.
Oh my goodness. That was one moment that just brought tears to my eyes. And I believe another moment again that made me just, sat by the TV, not just sad, was the death of the man who brought us iPhone, iPod, what else? iPad, have a computer. I'm talking about Steve Paul Jobs, who sadly...
Is it Jobs or Job?
I think it's Jobs. Is it Jobs or Job? I don't know, but it's Steve. So we're gonna
because I don't have iPod, I don't have iPad, and I don't have iPhone. So
we're gonna keep
but this man is
he was a genius.
Very great.
He was a genius. He was an entrepreneur in the high-tech business, and he
takes us back to something.
Right.
You do not really have to be in government to lend a hand of help to others.
Exactly.
You don't have to rule a country to impact the multitude of the people. To us in Africa, you have to be a governor, a minister, a president, this and that, for you to be able to do anything. No, you can serve in any capacity that God has pushed you. Perhaps if Steve Jobs run for governor, he might not be a very good governor.
Right.
If he run for the presidency, he might not even make it.
Right. Because we all have our strengths in different areas. We are relevant in our fields.
I do not know much about the man until, I started hearing that he has some limited time to live and stuff like that. And even seeing his picture kind of saddens me.
Right.
Even before I knew that he was suffering from something, I'll just look at his picture and say, is this man... I think I asked you, what is wrong with this man?
He's sick, yes.
And you was like, he's very sick and stuff like that.
I think he had pancreatic cancer. He actually made it public in 2003. So he lived more than the doctors thought he was going to live. So, but it was still sad to see him go. We saw it coming. We knew that, somehow, but we were hoping and praying that he pulls through. But pancreatic cancer I think is one of the worst of type of cancer.
We pray that that kind of bad thing will not afflict any one of us.
Right. And we also
whoever is carrying it, may God help them to get over it.
To pull through and beat the disease. It's a disease that has really done a lot of damage in our society, and that's why we as African Heritage organization, African Heritage Media, which comprises of radio, TV, and television, radio, television, and newspaper, are supporters of the Cancer Association. The African Women Cancer Association. It's an association that deals on breast cancer and some of the other cancers that has been affecting most of the world.
The chairperson of the organizer, Mrs. Nwajika, is really doing a good job.
Oh my goodness, she's a blessing to us.
She's a blessing. She is in Maryland and she's taking the battle to the New England next year.
Right.
That was what she told me, that she's coming to New England next year. She will put together the group of women. She wants to popularize it. She wants people to get tested free of charge. She was doing a lot in the Maryland, Virginia area, and she has become a household name in those areas, and she's spreading it nationwide now. Before the end of the year, she says she'll be in Miami, Tampa, and that end. And she also goes to Nigeria to create awareness on breast cancer and other various cancers. That is another woman that is doing a yeoman's job, or maybe I should just say yeoman's job. She doesn't have to run for the Senate. She doesn't have to be a commissioner. She doesn't have to be a minister. She is doing a fantastic job on that cancer program, and she's doing a whole lot of research, and she has a whole lot of volunteers. And if my time permits, by the grace of God, next year, 2012, I will volunteer more. And African Heritage Media, the TV, the radio, and the newspaper will actually carry a whole lot of their program free of charge.
Right, and we'll continue to support them because, just to re-echo what you said before, she's doing a fantastic job. You men, you women, whatever one works for you. And if Miss Ify is watching, way to go, sister.
Well, we're going to give her a copy of this.
Right.
Ify is terrific.
Yes.
She is terrific, and we enjoyed the last one we went for in Maryland.
Yes,
and
nice.
they did a very good job. Always doing a very good job. Even though she just came back from Africa doing the same thing. And the rest of the Nigerian government or governors should just take advantage of the fact that this woman is doing this for free of charge.
And support her.
Support her. Bring her to your state.
Right.
Let her open up a channel of communication with the government. Let the government, instead of wasting money on things that we don't need, support the fight against cancer, especially in our women. Breast cancer. And let us just, even if that is one thing you will do, or the so-called first lady will spend money on, instead of galvanizing the rest of the world, doing shoppings and stuff like that.
Yeah, touch a life, save a life,
some lives.
touch somebody, you know.
It is not beyond. We will have the resources.
Right.
And please don't. I don't want to listen to the fact that we don't have resources.
Because we do.
We do.
We do. We
The
have
presidency
a lot
just
of money.
voted 300 million to buy plates and spoons. We have the money. A whole ministry, NGO section was. A whole ministry was just closed for the First Lady's NGO section with 1 billion naira voted for inside the budget for that NGO
just
project.
for that purpose.
How can we do that? How can we keep on the $1 billion that can be spent on infrastructures? I don't know.
It's sad. It's sad. Wow.
This is still African Heritage Media, and we are recapping on what happened throughout the 2011. And Ms. Rosemary, you said that there are some events that are ha or whatever.
Yeah, like ha moments, like, oh my goodness, is this really happening?
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, my ha moment was God. Watching the royal.
That was the most boring thing.
I knew you were going to call it boring, but I mean, for every lady, I mean, I stayed up. I woke up like 4 a.m. just to watch the program.
To be honest with you, ask me how many minutes I stayed to watch that. 0 minutes.
0 minutes?
Because if it's not sports, if it's not news, I mean, to me, it's not newsworthy. Somebody is getting married and everybody in the world is...
But they're royalty. We were watching the new Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. How can you not love it? People were celebrating them all over the world. And I think that the reason it was so fascinating is because of Prince William's being a son to Princess Di, whom we loved so much. I did. Princess Diana.
Oh, okay.
And who tragically died in a car wreck. I believe it was 97, 98, I can't place it, but many years back. And to now see those little boys who grew up in our faces, those cute little babies that she was running around with, to now see him grown into a young man and taking a wife of his own, you know, it was a reminder. It took us back to the time when Prince Charles got married. So it was so fascinating for me, and I was like, whoa! And I loved Queen Elizabeth's outfit. I was like, ha ha, that's the Queen Mother. Okay. So for me, there was a ha ha moment.
Even a ha ha moment is going to be on the field of sport, and
well, talk to me about your ha ha moment.
I'm over because the NBA was on strike for so long, and I was...
That's not a ha ha moment.
Well, when they come
that
back,
was a moment when you go, oh, come on.
No, when they come back, it was my ha ha moment.
Oh, okay, I got you.
When they came back, I mean, I have to literally, you know, stay up to watch 4 games in a day. Wow. And they did not finish until 1:30 a.m.
Wow.
And I still have to report at work by 7. So I was just very, very happy that the NBA is back, the hoop is back.
Right.
And probably, you know, watch a little bit of soccer. And football is becoming boring. My team has been kicked out of the playoffs. So
who's your team?
Philadelphia.
Steelers?
That's
for Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is Steelers, Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Because I've never heard you talk about Philadelphia. You always talk about Pittsburgh, the Steelers, and you talk about other... I've never heard you talk about Philadelphia.
I talk about Steelers because Steelers plays good, but Philadelphia happens to be my team when Michael Vick's became their quarterback. So I used to be a Jet fan, you know that.
Yeah, New York.
I still, but you know, my new team is now Philadelphia, but they are in the playoffs. So I was like, okay.
Oh, better luck next year.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for thanking me. And you know another moment that had us in shock, like how could this possibly be happening? You can get any woman in the world. You have all this money. You are the boss for IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund. And why are you being accused of rape? And to think that the person accusing you is an hotel maid? An African woman. Oh my God, that was a moment that
I believe we discussed it. We discussed this a lot on the radio.
Yes, we did.
And what did I tell you then?
You thought that the story was going to change later.
And what has the story become today?
Of course, it did change. It did change. Because I remember telling you that when the story first broke, and I'm thinking, isn't she like in her 30s and the guy is... She
was about 36 and the guy was...
No, I don't even think she was over
32. About 32, yeah.
She was like 32
and the guy was about 68.
60, I'm like, and you couldn't fight him? 32 years and you're an African woman, you were taught to fight back. In Africa, you were taught to fight back.
And I just had the feeling that this story will change very soon.
Of course it did.
This story will change very soon. Because when something like that happened, you did not run down to report to nobody. You kept cool. Then you went to your ex-boyfriend or whatever, and you reported that. And
then went back into the room to clean up.
You don't do that if somebody raped you.
Yeah, and you're cleaning the scene of the accident. You're taking the evidence out. What's wrong with you, Mama? Come on, are you sure you're an African lady? Because you're too stupid.
So look at what happened now. But the humiliation that the man has to
endure,
go through is I mean,
and here was somebody who had a point.
Nobody is exonerating the man because as the Western world we want us to believe he's married.
Right.
And for him too, it's been one thing or another for
Right.
him and the people, I mean, people in the skirt
Right, right.
or in nice panties.
Exactly.
But if the man has not committed any crime, if it's consensual, why allege that the man raped you?
It's just like, this is the way I look at it, and I might be wrong. The way I look at it, I think she probably really didn't know who the guy was.
She knew.
Wait,
Because
man.
you're not gonna lodge in those kind of hotel
Right.
with people not knowing who you
Who
are.
you are. But this was a different kind of man, okay? And then she goes out there to tell her boyfriend or her friend, whatever relationship they had. And the guy said, look, you probably could make some huge chunk of change from this.
Yeah, but you can even do that without, I mean, if lady want to shake you up, they'll shake
They'll
you
shake
up.
you right. I
If
think she was
girls
just
want to
stupid.
shake you up, they'll shake you up without alleging all those nonsense. They can even say, okay, Mr. Khan, you just gave me gonorrhea. I'm going to the press now.
So what you got for me? Because we can settle this, or I can go to the
Even
press.
if the man said, but we use condom. Oh yeah, well, I told you when the condom broke. I mean, you can shake it. I mean, ladies know how to shake men up.
And how would you know? You're not a lady.
I've been shook up. I was shook so many times, even though I don't have anything to pay. I have to
See, now
pay with services.
that's why I like you. That's why I like you so much, because you're honest.
What is it not to be honest about? The only thing is, I mean, the only thing is you can even allege that the man is gay.
Something that
You
will
can
make
even
you
try to
guys,
get along with
that will
not
make-
that. I
yeah.
mean, between you and him.
Something that will start a bargain.
Hey, Mr. Khan,
Look.
you know what?
Uh-huh.
You gave me gonorrhea. If that is not flying, you know what? What the job you did there was not even good at all. I can. You sneak it in the wrong way,
Right.
and you just break something. You can say anything to that. Okay, I don't want this outside. What can we do?
Oh my
That is going to be
goodness.
much more better than all this nonsense.
Right, that's
I mean,
true.
this is. I mean, you just killed this man.
I know.
Literally killed the man, and you know what? The girl has done such a thing before.
I think so.
She lied about.
She lied about everything. She
No, no,
lied
no.
about
She
being a
lied-
refugee.
No, she lied to. I mean, she was a refugee, and she lied that she was raped by
raped by
soldiers
soldiers. Right.
back in his. I mean, in a country,
That was a lie
and they find out that was a lie. And
There were two.
why were all these allegations out? Because of this one.
Yes.
They started investigating her.
Of course.
They went to our city.
Of
They went.
course.
When you fight a man that is loaded with money, believe me, the man is going to fight back. They went to our village. They interviewed people. They want to know everything about this woman, and they knew some. And you know
Yeah.
what?
They don't
New
have
York
so-
has to drop the case.
Yeah, they don't have so much.
And now you're not even getting the money. Nothing. And your image is
Messed up.
down on the floor. So girls or ladies, if you have to, or even men that want to shoot big women up, you know, wealthy women up, be creative.
Right, right.
Use your
That's
number
true.
6.
That's true.
If you want, I would just favor, hey, can you do this?
Can you just
Can
help
you
me
just
out
help
a
me
little
out? You know, not try to shake them up in the bow, you know, blackmail them or whitewash them
Right,
or whatever.
right, right.
Whatever means you want to use. So, what do we have again
Where were you when Amy Winehouse died? How did that
I
happen?
did not know who Amy Winehouse or Whitehead was.
Yeah, because you know we got a lot of calls concerning her.
Yes, until somebody called and said, Amy died. I said,
Yes.
Amy Whitehead or Whitehouse or whatever. I said, I'm sorry, let me pass this to Rosemary.
Right, of
Because
course.
that was not, I'm not so, you know, I'm not in that aspect of news until
Yes.
I started reading about
About
her
her,
and I knew
find
that
out.
she was troubled and stuff like that.
She was, and to find her dead in her apartment, it shocked the music industry. She was actually planning a comeback at that time. And for a young lady, I think she died at 27. She had been troubled. She had alcohol and drug addiction, which she had been battling for a while. And then she was planning a comeback, but unfortunately she died of alcohol poisoning in her London home. So
We just
it was a hard lesson for a lot of people that are doing drugs
especially
and alcohol.
entertainers,
Yes,
entertainers,
yes, it was.
footballers, sportmen generally, movie industry, musical industry, and all just all sort of entertainers, they feel that they have to enhance their performance with something, with some chemicals in their body. Patty, even if it works for you now,
it's going to get to a point where it will not work for you anymore. It's going to get you
down later.
Right.
It's going to get you down later.
That is so true.
You cannot do that. Please, just use the little talent that God gave you. Do not enhance it with anything that is chemical. Don't put chemical in your body.
Right.
Even drinks. We ought to be moving away from all this alcohol and all these drugs and all this. This is a new dawn. It's a new dawn.
It is.
We have to be smart with what our body is not even owned by us. It's a temple of God.
And you gotta treat it right.
And you have to treat it right. We have to treat it well.
You gotta treat it right.
A whole lot of us abuse our body like if we own this permanently or forever. But when the chips are down and you lie down on the bed, even when people surround you, you're still going to be the person that is going to suffer your own bad decision. Not to even touch drugs.
Right.
No alcohol, no drugs, no cigarette, no nothing. Even limit soda. Yeah, I gotta talk to myself about that too.
Well, I'm guilty too.
I'm guilty of soda. But I'm trying. Please try to forsake soda. Drink water, even if you have to put lemon.
Right, that's true. So what was 2011 like for you? And let me put it this way. What was 2011 like for? What was the experience like for you? And how excited are you about 2012?
That was a big thing. To be honest with you, all the events in 2011 cannot make up for the economic downtrodden that we witnessed in Europe, America, and now in Africa.
Right.
The world is just living on a borrowed economical life, thin life. The America is kaput, like the Germans will say. Europeans are bankrupt. Africans are wasteful. Everybody is just looking up to China. China has been bailing a whole lot of people out, even with their population. And the second one that is springing up now is India. India has been the bedrock of medical miracle, cheap medical miracle. And to cap it all, they are coming out with a car, automobile. The Chinese are coming out with an automobile now that is not going to cost more than $6,000-$7,000 at retail.
I want to see that car.
So America is trying not to let the car come to America. You might not be able to see it in America.
I will see it in Nigeria.
Yes.
Of course, they will ship those cars to Nigeria. Trust me.
Of course. So the economy has been bad for more than 1 year now, and we are not seeing any light at the end of the tunnel. President Obama himself has been a big disappointment. He seems not to be able to get it right. When a man talks about, don't tell me that you are coming into the presidency and you do not know the magnitude of the job you are going to do there. He seems not to be able to capture the magnitude, the wastage or the wasteful venture of President Bush. I cannot spare President Obama, and this is the reason. When President Bush was there on my radio in Houston, every day I bashed President Bush. And when Obama is coming in, first of all, I supported Mrs. Clinton over Obama. But when Obama became the nominee, we all supported Obama. Anybody but Bush.
Right.
Anybody but the Republican. Because McCain cannot be better than Bush. So when Obama started saying, oh, I'll do this, everything I will do, I started saying, oh my God, did this man know what he's going to do when he gets there? Or did he know the magnitude of the problem that President Bush has just left? But you know what? He did not only do a good job, he gave in to every little demand of the Republican. And that was what really pricked me about him. The Republican that we sent packing, and now the person dictating to you, and you were just towing their lines.
I think he was just trying to be able to have a balance.
You cannot have a balance when, look, I've just said that the same thing, and he's been hanging out with President Goodluck of Nigeria too much.
You said that before.
Yes. When you hang out with that influencing and affecting influencing and afflicting your sense of judgment. And that was what happened. Because why would Obama just give in to all this nonsense demand from the Republican? You defeated them for a reason. Because the whole country wanted a change. Don't listen to them. And that was why he lost the congressional election. And if care is not taken, there's no reason on earth that Republican should even get up to 35% vote against Obama if Obama was doing a good job. Maybe
he's making it look like he's not doing a good job.
He's not doing anything.
I think he is.
He's not doing anything. He's been overwhelmed by the job, period.
Of course it will be. It's a 24-hour job, and I know that he knew that before he went in.
So, what are we talking about? You know what you're going into, or you should have an idea of what you are going into. If you're saying, I'll do this, you better be ready to do it. And we are not in Africa. Whatever you do or you say, they'll push it in your face.
That's true.
You cannot tell CNN not to re-echo whatever you said during your campaign.
Right.
You cannot tell CBS or CBN or whatever, all the alphabetical,
they will pull
it back.
These things are recorded.
It is only in Africa that you will say the president doesn't want to see that on the TV.
Oh, no.
Who are you not?
Who are you admitting to this?
Second Amendment, baby.
Right, so are you excited about... Are you excited about 2012?
I'm just praying to God that 2012 is going to be better than 2011.
I hope so.
I'm not excited, but I'm praying.
I'm excited. I'm praying and I'm excited
too.
I'm praying and I'm in
expectation.
Because
in 2010, I was excited that, okay, maybe 2010 is going to go with the leap year, whatever they call it, and usher in even and odd. But, you know, the world is just struggling now, so I'm just praying that whatever bad thing we witnessed in 2011 will not reoccur its ugly head in 2012. And I'm just using this medium to appeal to sit-tight leaders in Africa, people who do not, people like Mugabe that still want to run when he's 82 or 83 now. The man still want to go for another election. Those are the people we're talking about.
Right.
There's no reason for you to do that anymore. You want them to push you on the street and start slapping you? Is that what you want?
We talk about it.
And they saw the demise of Gaddafi. Why would they not land?
We've been talking about Gaddafi now. What about Doe of Liberia?
President Doe of Liberia refused to go.
Saddam Hussein?
I was talking to a Liberian 2 days ago in my office, and the man said he was there when the president of Nigeria sent a plane to get Samuel Doe out of Liberia, but Samuel Doe refused to leave
because he was stubborn
until he got captured and got killed.
Because
you have to end it like that.
No, that was what I said about Muammar Gaddafi. It didn't have to end up like that.
He did not.
It did not at all. And you know, I have my 10 most shocking and memorable moments of 2011.
We have a radio.
I know, before we go on the radio. I think on number 10 will be the 5.8 magnitude earthquake that shook over the United States. That started in Virginia through DC, New York.
Number 9.
That was my number 10.
Number 9.
Well, number 9 will be the IMF guy. Can, yes.
Number 8.
My number 8 will be Amy Winehouse, the death of Amy Winehouse.
Number 7.
Let's see what my number 7 was. My number 7, oh gosh. Number 7 was the shooting of Guilford, of Gabrielle Guilford, the congresswoman who was at a function and got shot by a 22-year-old.
In Arizona. Number 6.
Okay, number 6, royal wedding.
Number 5.
Number 5 will be the death of Kim Jong-il, the supreme leader of North Korea.
Number 4.
My number 4, the death of the man I call the entrepreneur in the high-tech business, Steve Jobs.
Number 3.
Number 3, of course, the earthquake and tsunami that made me cry. Just, you know, the devastating earthquake and tsunami.
Number 2.
Number 2 will be the death of Muammar Gaddafi.
Number 1.
And my number 1, of course, is the killing of Osama bin Laden. That's my Rosemary 10 most, shocking and memorable events of 2011. And on that note, we are wrapping it up for today. We want to thank our viewers for spending your time with us, and of course, the original Mr. Heritage.
Thank you very much
for
Ms.
your
Rosemary.
insight. He always puts everything in perspective.
Oh, come on.
Makes my job so easy.
Oh, come on, don't give me all this.
You give yourself a pat on the back. I'll give you a pat. That's okay. I'll give you one. It's been a fabulous show. You want to take us out?
Well, thank you very much, our viewers, and we are just recapping what has happened during the year. We will not get everything right.
Of course.
We will not be perfect, but at least we are trying. And if you join us every time, you will notice that we will always improve. Keep on writing us. The email is africanheritagemedia.com.
Right.
Please, drop us a note, let us know what you want and how we can improve on this. Thank you very much. Good night.
And God bless.